Hey friends, welcome to Hitch a Ride. I had a very nice record store visit yesterday. More on that after this. Enjoy the ride. Bonjour tout le monde. Hello everyone. Je m'appelle Bernard. My name is Bernard and welcome to my channel Hitch a Ride. So before I get to the vinyl haul that I had yesterday, I'd like to say hi to everyone who's watching me, everyone who's subscribed to this channel. I'm very humbled and very grateful. So welcome everyone. And I also like to say hi to my good friend Phil once again, because he sent me a lot of CDs, more than 30 CDs that he didn't care for anymore. He had double of them, or for whatever reasons he offered them to me, so he sent them to me last week. And so, like for example, he sent me this 4 CD box set by The Police called Message in a Box, The Complete Recordings. So you have 4 CDs like this, and a very nice booklet inside full of pictures and stuff to read. Thank you so much, Phil. So like 30 or more CDs. A bunch of them are greatest hits. Like for example, I have one by B.B. King, the best of B.B. King. We listened to that one in the car yesterday when we went for my visit that I will be talking to you about later. Another one by Santana. Classic stuff. Aerosmith. Jethro Tull. I had this one on a CDR, a copy that I made a few years ago. So this one is the very best of Jethro Tull. Also one compilation by Lenny Kravitz. I never had any Lenny Kravitz before. One by The Cars. I had their compilation from 1985. This one will complement that compilation with the song You Are the Girl that was not released at the time of that last compilation. Also Billy Joel Greatest Hits Volume 3, and also one by Steve Miller Band, The Complete Greatest Hits. So all kinds of classic stuff, nice to have and to play. Simon and Garfunkel, of course. One by Kiss on the 20th Century Masters series. This one is by Rod Stewart. It's called the Downtown Train. One by Marvin Gaye. And one by Elton John. That will complement the other greatest hits I have by him. Also a bunch of Diana Krall for me to discover her work a little more. Diana Krall. And a couple by Eric Clapton that I don't know anything about. One with J.J. Cale, and this one is Back Home. The one with J.J. Cale is called The Road to Escondido. I don't think that these are some of his best works, but I'm curious to at least listen to them a couple of times and see. Maybe I will like them. And a whole bunch by Joan Jett that I really like. 5 CDs by Joan Jett. Bad Reputation, The Hit List, Pure and Simple, Unfinished Business, which is an EP, I think. And this one I really like, Notorious. With the super ballad Ashes in the Wind, I really like that one. So, and all kinds of miscellaneous CDs, albums. Paul Simon, Still Crazy After All These Years. Sheryl Crow, one by Cheap Trick that I'm curious to hear. I never, don't think maybe I listened to it on my numerous MP3s. Rockford, and this one by Cranberries, Diamond Dogs by David Bowie, a nice one, Jeff Ely Band, See the Light, and one that I had on record, on vinyl record, but I'm very happy to have on CD as well, The River by Bruce Springsteen. And there are more. Brutus, sorry, a Canadian band that I didn't know anything about. I will see. Also another one by Dire Straits, and a CD single. I always like to add some more Dire Straits material in my collection. This is for the song Heavy Fuel. And I don't know the third track on this one, that's called Kingdom Come. I don't know it, so I'm curious to hear it. And the last one here, the Beatles live at the BBC. So thank you, Phil. It's a lot of new items for me to enjoy in my collection. And yeah, so let's get to the vinyl haul that I was talking to you about at the beginning of the video. So yeah, that was yesterday, and I didn't plan to visit any record store. The plan was that we were going to go as a family to a friend's place who lives in an area of Montreal that I'm not familiar with too much, that I don't go often there. It's called Verdun. So we went there, and after lunch we went to walk on the street called Wellington. So, and we walked around. It's like a small Saint Catherine street. Very nice place with lots of diversity, restaurants and stores and stuff like that. And so we stopped at La Librairie Les Bons Débarras. And my friend, he knew about this place, but he wasn't sure that they were selling vinyl records. He knew about the books. And but they don't only have books, they have also vinyl records. So I was very excited when I saw that, and I said, oh, I'd like to take a look there. So without any expectations, so I went there. Very small place, but I could see right away that it was well organized, and the seller was nice with me. So I started looking around, and it took like a few seconds that I realized that maybe something special would happen there. Not that I found super rare stuff. It's common records really, but it's very hard to explain. But it's like I completed some album puzzles that I had in my head. A few albums that was on my radar, couldn't find really in the wild, and something special I think happened there, because it was for many artists and bands that I found, they only had a few records, but they were exactly the ones that I was looking for. So like for example, that Bryan Adams album was the last one I really needed for my vinyl collection by him. I own a lot of Bryan Adams on CDs. I have that one on CD, but I was missing that one to complete like this classic cycle from the 80s. Last month or a few weeks ago, Phil sent me Into the Fire. So all of a sudden my Bryan Adams 80s stuff is in my head quite complete. So I knew right away something good was going to happen. And when I saw that one, I was like, oh, it's a good day. Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman, How. That album from 1989 to complete my Yes collection. Super happy to see that one. So just with those two albums, because it was a very small place, so I thought, I would just come out with those two albums. It's a great day. super happy. And then, okay, Arcadia was there, and we were only in the A's, so I was super happy because Arcadia is like a lost Duran Duran album, and I liked Duran Duran a lot. That was like the only one I was missing for my 80s Duran Duran collection. Super glad. It's a very nice album if you don't know that one. So Red the Rose by Arcadia from 1985. So after that I went to the B section, and Pat Benatar is an artist that I collect and I really like, and there's only one album really that I felt that I was missing by her from her classic period. This album is Tropico, and they at Les Bons Débarras they only had one Pat Benatar album, and it was Tropico. So I was starting to think that this place was magical. Something very mystic was happening. Not that this album is rare by any means, but you know, they could have had like 4 Pat Benatar albums, and all albums that I already had, like In the Heat of the Night or Wide Awake in Dreamland, or any albums like that. I already have them, and the only one they had was Tropico, so it was. I was starting to feel a little bit like I was shaking a little bit. And then, still in the B section, The Byrds. I have The Byrds Greatest Hits #2. I've had this album for several years, maybe 10, 12 years. I was always looking for the first Byrds Greatest Hits to make it complete. And there it was. I think it was the only Bird album, actually. The Byrds Greatest Hits. So, wow, another one to cross off my wish list. So now, okay, the C section. I found an album that I already have, but it was a Japanese pressing. So I said, I'm not leaving it there. And don't laugh, I really like Christopher Cross a lot. I'm not ashamed of it, and this one is, it happens to be my favorite album by Christopher Cross. It's Every Turn of the World, and it's a Japanese pressing, and I said, no way I'm leaving it there, it's coming home with me. So, and then to the H section. Now, okay, one of my favorite bands is Heart, and I'm almost complete on my 80s, 70s and 80s art on vinyl. And the only vinyl album by Heart that I was missing for my, like I said before, my album puzzle in my head that I wanted to make it complete was Bad Animals. And you know, I couldn't believe it, because the only Heart album that they had was, you guessed it, it was Bad Animals. So this is a Columbia House version, very nice one. Coming with me, another one. My goodness, I was like, in my head I was like crossing off all those items on my wish list. Okay, so finally I went to the end of the section, to the Y section, and another one of my favorite bands of all time, you guessed it, is Yes. And the magic happened once again. I own most Yes albums on vinyl. I think I have all the studio albums, because Yes has like many album dérivés, you know, derived items, I don't know how to say that, live albums or compilations or you name it, so I don't have them all. But the studio albums, I have everything on CD, and I had most everything on vinyl except 3. They had the 3, and they had only those 3. They had Relayer, Tornado, and Drama. the only 3 Yes albums from the classic period, because I'm not counting. After Magnification, I don't own any Yes albums on vinyl after Magnification. Heaven and Earth I have only on CD. But I mean from the debut to Magnification, I have everything on vinyl, the studio albums. I had them all except those 3, and there they were. And not in bad shape at all, you know. Like this Relayer album, I've seen much worse copies, and I listened to it today. Very nice. Couple of background noises, nothing irritating. Super happy. Tomato, Drama, all fantastic albums that I didn't have by Yes. So that makes 10 of them. My goodness, that was, I mean, I'm not saying these are rare albums, but they were all like the ones I wanted. I think it was like mystic or magical. So finally we had a very nice discussion with the owner there at Les Bons Débarras, and my wife asked him questions about like world music and stuff like that. She likes like Spanish music, Cuban music, African music, so he ended up advising her to buy this one by Oscar Peterson, Carioca. I think there's another version of that one. I think it's called Soul Español or Spanish Soul or something like that. I think that's another version of that album. So he played this album in the store, and my wife said, okay, I'm taking this one. And this other one also by, I don't know how to pronounce that, Mdou Mokhtar. He talked about a few other albums also, but this one he described the guitarist, like he said that the guitarist I can't talk today, man, in English. I'm sorry. I'm gonna finish in French. I think I'm going to finish this video in French. No, I'm continuing in English, but tired to talk in English, guys. My goodness. Okay, Mdou Mokhtar. The album is called Afrique Victim, and the owner said that the guitarist, I have a hard time with guitarist. The guitarist is very talented apparently, and he plays like a little bit like Jimi Hendrix. So I said to my wife, oh, maybe we should go with that one. So she said, yeah, why not? We'll take this one. That's a complete blind buy. Listen to that today. It's very good. So that's my wife's album, this one and the Oscar Peterson one. So she's starting to have a small collection too. So if you ever go to Les Bons Débarras, Verdun, Montreal, say hi to the owner, ask him questions. He's very nice, and maybe the magic will happen for you too. So take care, everyone. Happy listening, happy collecting. I'll see you in another video, maybe with a little bit more of design and effects in it. You never know. Maybe my Boston collection is coming soon for you guys. I know Robert Z is interested to see that, so we'll see. Take care, everyone, and see you later.